Welcome to my channel. My name is Ava. I wanted to talk to you today about venting. I wanted to have what I call a venting session. I think that it's healthy for all of us to do this every so often, maybe once or twice a week, just to do like a woosah, get with your girlfriends or your buddies and get a couple of drinks, your beverage of choice, or however you guys see fit. But just get together and just talk about things and release these things that are funny or crazy or outrageous, especially the things that are bothersome to you. It is so healthy, guys, to just vent, especially with what's going on in our lives these days. I mean, it's just so much going on in the world. Every time you cut the TV on, the news on, you're hearing all these stories. It's just overwhelming. It really is. And I don't think there's enough talk about this topic, venting. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean venting like just going off and, losing it on people. I don't mean that kind of venting. I just mean healthy, constructive venting, sharing of your thoughts and feelings, like what I'm doing now. This is kind of helpful for me as well in doing this. And I'm really more so concerned with people's mental health these days, because there's a lot being thrown at us, and it's not making a whole lot of sense to me, honestly, like why it's being done in this manner. I'm just going to say it. But there are things that we can do to lessen the blow and to not get ourselves so, taxed and stressed out, just feeling some kind of way, So let me think. There's so many ways to vent. I mean, I've done exercising, like treadmills and running and jogging, getting exercise, not letting things fester inside of you. It's not healthy to do that. You will feel so much better to just get that off your chest, and discuss it. And like I said, in a non-confrontational manner. So I wanted to just share some things that I'm going to be honest, that are bugging me. Okay? I want to share and express, how I'm feeling about things, because I'm pretty sure you guys probably are saying, yep, like, I agree, because it's the stuff out here in the media. And it's just crazy. And then too, like I said, it's helpful for me, beneficial for me as well, to vent. So the first thing, I'm going to tell you, I've had to cut the news off. I'm going to be honest. It's, of course we've all grown up watching the news. You want to be informed. You want to know what's going on in the world, in your part of the woods, where you live. But now, I mean, it's been like this for a while, but especially since we've had these health crises here in the last couple of years, it's just like we are inundated with death tolls. And I'm just really not understanding, why we need to be, updated on the amount of deaths every 5 or 10 minutes. It's just not making sense to me. Because in the long run, it's like, what is that going to do to my psyche? I keep hearing this, I'm going to feel depressed. I'm going to be scared, terrified out of my mind. It's just like, what is going on here? So for that, well, that's one of the reasons with the news, it's biased, and I don't know. I just don't feel the same way I used to about it. I'm going to be honest. I feel worse 100% of the time after watching it. So I've had to make the decision to cut it off, You can find other ways to get news. Other people watch the news, or, every now and then just check in. Don't watch it every evening. It's just too much. It's overwhelming. And then you're cutting the TV off to go to bed, and then you can't sleep. You got all of this crap in your mind. 5,000 died in 5 minutes, from, it's like, we don't need to hear all that. It's enough going on in the world. We have enough stuff going on, with just life. Okay, so, but I want to say too that we have the choice to watch this stuff. We're kind of inflicting it on ourselves because we are voluntarily pressing the remote button to cut it on, and it's like, have a choice. Like, I don't have to watch this. I really don't. Then a commercial come on and I'm like, okay, cool. Showing you all this unhealthy food and all of these pharmaceutical drugs that are being pushed down our throats. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, that ain't it either. Let me cut on something to watch. Let me cut on a show or something. I cut the show on. And you've got shows to choose from, all of them giving you examples of mayhem and death. Everything is negative based and shooting and killing and robbing and death and shooting. It's crazy. It's like, I can't get a break. Let me cut this TV off. I used to read books back in the day, and I really enjoyed them, but, the TV took over. You know how that goes. But it's like, we need to get back to the other things that we found as entertainment. I mean, sure, there are movies that are positive and, loving and, have a good storyline or whatever. That's not so depressing. So we do have an option, to watch something like that, or be entertained by something like that. So that would be more helpful, more beneficial to us in the long run, than, it's just like you can get really overloaded, Like, what is the agenda, We're inundated every time you cut the TV on with something. You can't even get a break from it with a commercial because you're being you're being pimped with that. So it's just like, ooh, look, let me tell you a short story. And I know a few of you, or some of you, are probably not going to like this, what I'm about to say, but look, it's my story. And I'm just sharing to give you an example of what I mean by you have the power to do what it is you want to do in your life, to help yourself or to hinder yourself. It's your choice. So I used to be, back in the day, like in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, I used to be a huge Washington football team fan. Yes, and I'm not using this moment to down any fans because this has nothing to do with that, but this is just my story on taking back control over my life. Okay, so I mean, of course, back in the 80s it was wonderful because they were winning like crazy, like things are just great. So, but things just started to get really sour, like in the, I'm going to say, the late 90s into the 2000s, and then present. I'm no longer a fan, and I don't even watch football at all, actually, to be honest. I don't have a team that I follow, but the point I'm making is that they ended up being on a losing streak, and it has so far been, I think, about 30 years now. It may be a little over a 30-year, and when I say losing, I mean not having reached the Super Bowl. So what I'm saying is that for me, I love sports. I was highly competitive. I was in it, like with all the other fans, and I found myself after a while becoming depressed. Like, seriously. I mean, I know you might find this funny and you're laughing, especially if you're not really into sports, but just hear me out. So this was something that I chose to do, become a fan of this team. And the goal of a team is to win, okay? And not all teams are going to always win, championships and all that, or games. I understand that because you've got so many teams and only one team can win, the big championship. So, but it's about being in the game. So the point I'm making is that they were losing game after game after, championship, they weren't in it, it wasn't happening. And so look, this is how I felt. Every Monday morning, I would go to work and I would have to look, from a loss that they had over the weekend, I would have to hear from these 4 or 5 different other football fans, who were on opposing teams, whose teams won or, whatever. And I would have to hear it, and this went on for decades, okay? And it's not it's not fun anymore after it's something like decades, okay? It's not fun because I felt that my health, seriously, I'm laughing. Okay, let me stop laughing right now because seriously, my health was becoming affected. You know, I was really in a depressed state. You know, it was like I'm up here, come on, y'all, come on, you know, and it's just like loss after loss. You know what I'm saying? Like you try your hardest, you trying to, you know, and then I thought, I'm like, why am I sitting up here having chest pains and high blood pressure, and all these other problems? I'm eating all this food and I'm just mad all the time, and oh, because of this football team. I'm like, really? I'm giving my power away to this team. And I'm like, okay, am I getting paid for this, for being a fan? I mean, am I getting paid like these players are, these millions of dollars? I'm still here wasting away my health. Because, you know, and it sounds ridiculous, but this is what I'm saying. Just sit back and look at what you're doing, what you're paying attention to, what you're making a priority in your life. Is it affecting your health in a negative way? When you start to see that, it's like, okay, let me back up. Okay, this is crazy. Okay, now if I end up in the hospital with a heart attack or something, I'm not gonna say, hey, doc, the team, the NFL team, that caused this, they gonna pay for it. They gonna look at me like I'm crazy, you know. So I mean, I just said that to say we all make our own decisions, you know. Sometimes we're doing it to ourselves, you know, like we don't have to entertain this mess. You know, you can find out, you know, if it's going to snow, you can watch the Weather Channel, you know, or whatever, and find out about the forecast, or look at your cell phone, and, you know, you don't have to watch the, you know, the meteorologist. It's going to snow 10 feet, run to the store now. You know, it's like, look, I don't have time for all of this ridiculous foolishness. You get to the store, people in there fighting and, you know, jumping and diving over you to get, you know, it's like, you know what, I can't. We don't have to feel like we're robots and we have to just be, okay, the news is on. All right, well, this is, you know, oh, and you don't have to do that. You don't. You have the power, okay? We have the power. So I wanted to add a couple more things in here with this venting session. So, again, we talked about the television and cutting it off and, you know, deciding to make your own choice and kind of stand back and look at what you are watching and paying attention to, putting your energy into, and seeing if that's affecting you in a negative way. How is it really affecting your life, your health, you know? Some of these commercials out here, I'm going to be honest, I talked about them a little bit before, but to go into more detail, it's like they talk around the big issues. You know, they don't really discuss them. For instance, this one commercial, they were selling some type of pills that was supposed to help you with knee joint pains, issues, and back pain. And the commercial, I just thought, this is crazy, okay? I'm like, I am so annoyed. Like I said, I'm gonna keep this chilled. But I was really annoyed watching it because it's like I'm getting, you know how you get a buildup of stuff? This is kind of which is the nature of this video. Stuff that's getting on your nerve, like it's ridiculous. People playing with my intelligence, you know? So, anywho. So the commercial is this black lady and she is bending over, getting something out of the oven. And she looks to be about, I'm gonna say, maybe upwards of 300 pounds, I'm gonna say. She was a thick lady and she didn't look short either. So that's why I was like, she had a little height to her. But anyway, so she's bending over, picking up, pulling something out of the oven. And she's like, oh, my knees. They say when you get older, your knees hurt, you know. And I just was like, okay. She looked to be late, I don't know, somewhere in her early 50s, I'm gonna guess. And I just was thinking, this woman is 300 and something pounds, and she's talking about because she's getting older. But I'm like, you know what? And so I just said, here we go, you know. And then they showed a guy. He was black. He was sitting on a porch in a rocking chair, and he is, rocking, and you can kind of see his upper half. And I'm just like, now, wait a minute now. He looks to be, I'm just going to say, he looked like he had a queen size pillow top on his shirt. And I'm just like, and he's like, yeah, my back pain, ooh, they say you're getting old and this back pain is something else, but thank God for these pills. And I'm just like, I am so annoyed, okay, at watching this crap. Nobody is telling you the real deal. Nobody's really, really trying to really help you for real, because, the first thing I said was both these people need to lose some weight. That's number one. And then these commercials out here, not talking about the elephant in the room, they're not trying to really address the real issue. They want to just stay fat and unhealthy and take these pills. I'm just, ooh, look, woosah. Because again, you got the opportunity to cut that off, but it's just, once you've seen it, you've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I don't need to watch this again. But I'm just, after I've taken this in, it's annoying the heck out of me, at what I'm seeing, because they're not really trying to help people for real. That's what it looks like, okay? It looks like, we want you to continue to eat this unhealthy food and get fat and be sick and take our pills. That's what's annoying to me. And one last thing, because I don't want to, go on forever with this, is, this health crisis that we're going through right now. I'm not going to make this whole show about that, but I'm just going to talk about this mask situation, because this is what is annoying me. So now, okay, yeah, now we've gone up a grade. Things are getting a little worse. We got the second phase going on now, I guess, in this new agenda, okay? And they're talking about the N95 masks or whatever, which is what I had started out with back in the day, when all this stuff started. And, oh, my nostrils. Oh, okay, allergies. Okay, hold on till I finish this video, allergies. Yeah, so I'm like, now I'm watching, I'm getting all this information that I can. The big C, okay? We're just gonna say the big C. A couple years ago came into our existence. And I was just like, okay, I'm looking at all this stuff, all these doctors, these New England journals of medicine and all this literature I can find. All these doctors are giving you all of these stats and talking about this and that. So what I'm saying is, or getting to is, the only thing they can come up with for us is to protect ourselves from this deadly virus that's airborne and that you could possibly catch from another person speaking, is a nose mask. A nose and to cover your nose and your mouth. And I'm like, if something is that deadly, why is somebody talking about your eyes? I mean, your eyes, you can seepages and cracks and the openings. Stuff can pass through your system, through your eyes. We got these too, just wide open, big old hole. I mean, what? But they're telling us you got 4 orifices that are open on your face, but we want to focus on this 2. I'm just like, what is the real agenda here? I mean, it's not making any sense to me. I'm like, we're going to talk about just these 2 things and not everything? I mean, I would imagine, if it were me and I'm trying to look out for the good people of this world, I'll be like, you all need to have on some kind of a face shield, okay? And then on top of that, we can do a mask or something, whatever, something that's got all of this all covered up. And it's just a complete face shield. I'm going to say it. And we're going to have some type of gloves on. It's not making any sense to me. It's just like, I feel like I'm being dumbed down, or I'm being punked. Am I being punked? Where the cameras? Because I'm just like, how you going to just have a mask over your nose and mouth and your eyes big as day, just sitting out? I mean, that's just not making any. So it's just like, it's annoying to me, because I'm just like, I keep hearing this and I'm like, nobody is talking. We got all these scientists and chemists and doctors and Nobody. I mean, I even see doctors and when they're in surgeries, they got the whole face shield on. So I'm just trying to figure out if they're in surgery and doing this, and then they have us with cloth masks on, even though now they're trying to get us to step up to the N95 mask so everybody can get paid. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. But just I'm just like, people, we need to open our eyes. That's all I'm saying. Step back and take a breathe, a woosah, and just kind of look. Look at what's going on and just try to think. Think about it. Meditate. Come on, family. Anywho, I'm going to leave it at there. This was a venting session. I got my water, okay? I'm just saying. I love you all. I'll see you next time with more content. Hopefully something to be more upbeat. Just like, it's not making any sense. I'm just going to be honest. This is common sense now, okay? I love you. Enjoy the rest of your day, alrighty? Bye-bye.